First, let me start with some good news. The Supreme Court's decision on the OSHA mandate essentially means that in this pandemic, it is up to individual employers to determine whether their workplaces will be safe for employees and whether their businesses will be safe for consumers.
A federal judge has ruled that President Biden cannot require teachers in federal Head Start early education programs to be vaccinated against COVID. The ruling is considered a victory for the 24 states that sued the Biden administration.
The court heard more than 3 hours of lively argument on the specific authority of the Occupational Safety and Health Administration and the Department of Health and Human Services. Justice Clarence Thomas told the DOJ Solicitor General, quote, "You need to show a lot more than just to say a lot of bad things could happen." While Chief Justice John Roberts suggested the mandates were the responsibility of the states or Congress. Justice Elena Kagan was among the liberal justices offering a counter-argument.
Why isn't this necessary to abate a grave risk?
Justice Sonia Sotomayor also pushing back.
Why shouldn't the federal government have a national rule that will protect workers?
But this is something that the federal government has never done before, right?
ABC's Faith Abubi has the details.
Today at the Supreme Court, attorneys for groups of Republican-led states and businesses fighting the Biden administration's COVID vaccine and testing mandate, questioning federal powers.
We are asking for a stay before enforcement takes effect Monday. And the reason for that is this is an unprecedented agency action.
The lawyers arguing the president forcing large private businesses to require workers be vaccinated or tested weekly for COVID is damaging.
This is going to cause a massive economic shift in the country.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad that you found my backup to Anna's Thoughts and musical parodies here at Anna Speaks Out. Thank you for being here. If you would like to support what I do here, I invite you to check out the merchandise store, which will be linked in the website that will be linked in the description of this video. I have several different designs, as you can see, moving across the screen that I think would be pretty relatable to most, if not all, of the people who would be here watching this video. And it's basically a way to literally wear your heart on your sleeve or your cup or whichever method you prefer. This is the latest design right here, Shame on Joe Brandon, which is my take on the Let's Go Brandon meme. Thank you so much in advance to anyone who decides to support in this way, and now let's get into today's video. So it's time for a celebration because the Supreme Court has blocked Biden's COVID requirements for businesses. However, sadly, it has still upheld the healthcare workers' mandate. According to NBC News, the workplace requirement, which was challenged by a group of red states and businesses, would have affected nearly 80 million U.S. workers. And just to make sure that we're all on the same page, this mandate had said that all businesses with 100 employees or more had to require their employees to either be vaccinated or get tested once a week and wear masks. And I had made a video a couple videos ago, like maybe a couple weeks ago or so, talking about how my place of employment had given us this message that was coming soon. So I'm thankful that this is really good news for me, as well as my other coworkers who also have not gotten jabbed. But hopefully sometime in the near future there will be good news for the healthcare workers as well. We'll have to see about that. Joe Biden said in a statement earlier today that he was celebrating the verdict in the healthcare worker case as one that would save lives, but he said he was disappointed that the broader workplace mandate was struck down. Quote, "I am disappointed that the Supreme Court has chosen to block common-sense, life-saving requirements for employees at large businesses that were grounded squarely in both science and the law." And he is calling on individual businesses to institute their own vaccination requirements. You know, so obviously he has never looked at the VAERS data or realized how underreported the data on VAERS is because of people purposely withholding it. Can't get too far into that probably. He's never seen the individual accounts of countless people talking about their vaccine injuries, or, you know, he just doesn't care. Could be both. Who's surprised about any of that, right? And as far as the healthcare workers mandate, previously the requirement had gone into effect in the remaining 26 states after federal appeals courts had blocked enforcement in 24 states. States opposed to the requirement said the federal law gave the government the authority to impose general health and safety rules for facilities like hospitals, but did not confer the power to require vaccinations. The agency that administers Medicare and Medicaid has never before required vaccinations, they said. According to an NBC article from December 15th of 2021, in a rare win for Biden's pandemic strategy, a 3-judge panel of the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans ruled that a lower court had the authority to block the mandate in the 14 states that had sued, and was wrong to impose a nationwide injunction. So I do find that interesting and encouraging that 14 states that sued against this mandate had a victory. The rest of us should be doing that type of thing. And by the way, if you're curious like I was, which of the states the 14 that sued were, they were Alabama, Arizona, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Utah, and West Virginia. So how about the rest of us take a lesson from them? And lastly, to finish out this video, I had just found it interesting that part of the MSNBC episode, sort of as a side note, had a couple of the hosts talking about some stuff that actually makes some sense and were some decent points. That's unusual for MSNBC, so just thought you might like to take a look.
So, Jonathan Lear, we were talking before about putting things in context as far as the fact that 2 out of 3 hospitalizations where somebody has got a COVID case, they're hospitalized for reasons other than COVID. And also, it's not really that much of a surprise, is it, that the Roberts Court would tell states, for instance, Maine, okay, well, if you want to require vaccines for people that work in your hospitals and healthcare centers, that's totally fine. That's your business. Go ahead and do it. We'll uphold it. That's one thing. Agreeing to a nationwide OSHA regulation that hasn't gone through Congress, it seems to be a step higher for the Roberts Court. Are you expecting them to strike down this mandate?
Yeah, they were permissive of what Maine did. New York State, others said that's okay. States can do this. But certainly this is still a conservative majority court. And the Biden administration, people I talked to over the weekend, said they sort of saw this coming. They anticipate probably that they will lose this, that there won't be a national vaccine mandate here.
Thanks again for finding your way over here. I'm so glad you made it. Since you liked the video enough to make it all the way to the end, don't forget to click the thumbs up and share with some other people who would also find it interesting. If you really loved it and would like to support what I do here, check out the link in the description for several different ways that you can do that. Thanks again so much. Have a wonderful night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time zone you are in, and I will see you next time. Bye.